What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Daredevil Born Again is not doing what we all thought it would do. Or that is, it's doing exactly what some people thought it would do. Those that say that, like, the MCU is over, they can't make good stories, and even when they try, it's not good. Well, you're right in some ways, and you're wrong in some ways, because really, with Dario Scartapane, the first showrunner, I think he's still unfortunately dealing with a lot of what came before. We found out that the first two episodes is actually just the pilot, and that Foggy was always going to be dead just off screen, and they added in the filming of the actual Moida, if it was that, because they're coming back for the second season. So what it seems like this first season is going to be a lot of the poor decisions made by the previous creative team, and the only thing Dario can do is edit some of it, and then maybe some of the later on performances will be better. But right now, and the ratings bear this out, it's not looking good. So down to an 81% on the popcorn meter rather. And while most people have good things to say about Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, all of the new characters added are extremely forgettable, and it bears out in the ratings. So mostly we've been getting it from Luminate, even though Disney themselves did come out and admit that only 7.5 million people had watched Daredevil in its 2-episode premiere, and the numbers haven't gotten that much better, but kind of. But when you compare it to Acolyte, not really. So new viewership data showing that Marvel's Studios Daredevil Born Again marginally outperforming the Acolyte, as Luminate here shows that in its second week, it brought in 387.3 million minutes, and enough to actually track this time. So it made it to the 10 spot on the streaming originals, something it did not do last time. You can see here, for comparison, Acolyte had 380 million at that same moment in time. So Daredevil Born Again is doing 1.7% better than Acolyte. So if this is what people are showing up for with just Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, who's in marriage therapy, and just, I'm not feeling a lot of the decisions here. The only thing that could possibly save this is Punisher coming back, because as we know, John Barenthal returned. By the way, we can also tell here from their ratings on IMDb. You can see here with the first 3 episodes of Acolyte, they had 11,000 people for the first one, 9.9 thousand for the second one, and 7.5 thousand for that third episode. And then when you go over to here, they had 10,000 people with the first one, 8.7 thousand for that second, and only 6.1 thousand people on the IMDb compared to the 7.5 for Acolyte. So again, the interest is just, it's depreciating values across the board, and this is specifically to Disney Plus. Obviously, we know Punisher's coming back. We've seen the cops with the Punisher tattoos, and we've heard that, yes, beyond the obvious that Punisher is going to have to clear his name with the White Tiger incident, because clearly that wasn't Punisher, and it's just the impetus for him to come out of the shadows. We know what he'll be doing, and it is. And here's the thing: we had this conversation on last night, on Gucci Channel, Diabolical Souls Presents, where someone was talking about, like, Gotham City showed corrupt cops and, like, the animated series. It's like, yeah, 30 years ago, in Gotham, which has always been depicted as rife with corruption, and that's why Batman, blah 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 blah. The storyline of the corrupt cops from this is specifically from, like, the 2018, 2019. It's done 100% because of our real world BLM, all cops are bad, defund the police, all those movements combined that had police sentiment at all-time low. And the left-wing writers who were writing this shit hate the veteran right-wing character, and they've done everything they can to cuck him. So this just cuck him in all ways you can, remove and strip away all his testosterone and his anyway, you get the idea. So it's not done in good faith, even if they try to handle it correctly. You can see here the aforementioned article or comic. Again, they pick from comics, but only when it's their comics, and only from the last 4 or 5 years, and only the ones that are the politically corrupted ones, or the unpopular characters. John himself, unfortunately, has given in to siding with the lefties, talking about those cops and others who wear the Punisher symbol are misguided, blah blah blah. He, of course, changed his tune in 2024, saying that basically, yeah, I understand a lot of intrinsic values that everyone would like deeply and strongly, blah, blah, blah. And a little bit better. So maybe he's seen the light in there, because it didn't seem like he was just saying it to sound political. He said, he exists very strongly inside me, and I care deeply about the character. In the hearts and minds of comic book fans and first responders and people in the military and people all over the world, I think there's a little bit of Frank Castle in everybody. So that's a little bit better understanding why cops might use that symbol. Either way, Chuck Dixon, the man himself, longtime Punisher writer, says the main reason they wanted to get rid of the Punisher is because they hated the Punisher and they hated you for liking it. It's that simple. And nowhere does that bear out if you actually talk to or look at the way Punisher fans, heavy air quotes, Punisher fans on like the Punisher subreddit or anything Marvel actually talk about him. It's like, oh boy, they hate the character and they hate anyone that liked the previous incarnation of him. So yeah, you let me know what you think about all this. Are you watching Daredevil? Because I keep saying I need to see what John Barron thought, and that's when Gooch laughs at me. He goes, why do you need another character in a Daredevil show? Well, you're right, but that's because he's the only thing that could change and switch everything up and get him to put the suit back on. So I need to see what John Boy does. You let me know what you think, though. Either way, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.